and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Okay, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Wednesday.
Okay, we're halfway there, ladies.
Yeah,
We made it.
can't wait. That's right. It'll be kind of a wet week here to finish out in South Florida. They even talk about flooding.
Oh.
Yeah, we've had thunderstorms last couple of nights, and looks like going into the weekend as well. It's going to be a little bit wet, so you got to come up with indoor plans, I guess, is what we got to look to do. So, and shucks, my kids got a football game tonight, too.
Uh-oh.
Don't know what that's going to look like.
Do they play even if it's raining?
They do. Lightning, they don't. So if you get rain, they'll play, and we stood in the rain last week and watched a game. And it was not awesome, but we'll see.
Back in the 80s, they would have made you play with lightning. In fact, if you got struck by lightning, you got MVP because you had balls, baby.
Things were tougher back then, yeah.
They were so tougher back
That's how they did it. Yeah.
I mean, I tell you about the time the baseball coach, my college coach, was throwing baseballs off my hip. This shit couldn't fly today.
No, that guy would get in big trouble.
That was in the mid-90s. Shit, back in the 80s and 70s, fuck the rules and kids' feelings.
When did lightning detectors become a thing? If you're not from South Florida, we have these things, and it's just something you get used to. You'll hear them, and you know what they are. Other people who aren't from South Florida, if you were to be like, what the hell is going on? Because golf courses will have them. I live close to a golf course, and so I can hear it going off. I'll be in my backyard, and you're, meh. You're like, okay, there's the lightning detector. And if you have a kid that plays outdoor sports, and there's thunderstorms, you get so used to it, and it's so annoying because what happens, it goes off, and the lightning detector then, it takes, I think, depending upon where you are, it's usually 30 to 40 minutes is, I think the soonest is 20 minutes, I remember. But whenever you would see that, you'd be trying to get a softball game done, for instance. My daughter would play, and that thing would go off. You'd be like, oh, this is another 20, 30 minutes before we can even get back on the field. Then you would, try to get young girls back on a field. You'd start to play, and it'd go off again, and you're now looking at a 5-hour game.
And not everybody reacts to the alarm in the proper manner. There's always that one fucker who will not let it go. Oh, no, the sun's coming out. It's going to come out, guys. Wait 5 more minutes. The sun will come out. And no, dude, there's lightning out there.
Well, you can't. Yeah, it's a hard stop. Yeah, anybody that would go against the rules on having the lightning, I've never seen anyone defy that.
What I'm saying is there's always one person holding out hope. Come on, 10 more minutes, guys. 10 more. Mm-hmm. 10 more.
Yeah, well, I would always have that when I would coach. It was always the one kid that wasn't that good on the team, and it would look like lightning or, just it was a, stormy kind of looking day. And they're like, Coach, we still got to practice. I'm like, yeah, lightning detector hadn't gone off and the field's dry, so we're going to do it. I can't believe you're still going to have practice. Look at it. It's clearly going to rain. I'm like, well, take your kid home. We don't need your kid anyway, so go right ahead. You were more than welcome to leave.
It's
In fact,
pretty
it
funny.
would really help out our practice if you got out of here. So, yeah, do you remember, was that something that happened? They always have that as you're a kid growing up, the lightning detectors?
No, they didn't. I started noticing at the golf courses that I worked at. In fact, when I played baseball up until even college, I never heard them go off. Not until the 2000s was that a common thing.
So maybe about when I got here is when they started doing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely notice them now, and they have one at my kids' football field. So
We've got one right behind our house because, I live on a golf course with these dumb golfers that I don't like.
They are the ones that will, maybe that's what I'm getting it mixed up with. They will never concede that weather's going to win. Like, no. We got 9 more holes in us.
I got the back 4 still.
It's like, motherfucker, it's 8 p.m. It's dark out and it's lightning. Let it go. You'll be back tomorrow with your pile of money and your golf clubs. They would never let it go.
My daughter's in the chat room. She said, yeah, he was a strict coach.
You?
Yeah.
I'm typing Caitlin right now. At Caitlin Ralston. He was a dick. No. I'm just kidding. No, when I helped Kevin coach, it was about 5 games in. I go, oh, man. It had nothing to do with Kevin. It's just softball and youth athletics.
Yeah.
Man, that shit is just... It is tiring. And
it is, yeah.
Parents really think every one of their kids is going to play shortstop for the Yankees. They all think that. I'm like, no, your kid kind of sucks.
No, it was rough. Yeah, I admire coaches, good coaches. There are some really bad ones out there as well, but it's tough.
The intensity of it is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why parents get into it. If
Yeah.
you work all day and that's your release and you get to spend time with your kid
Mm-hmm.
and it's exciting for you, I think that's awesome. Just don't get lost in the sauce.
No, you're right. Got to do it for the right reasons. It's about the kids going out there, having fun, number one, learning a sport, exercising, finding something that'll teach them discipline and sacrifice, and that's it. And then if you're so blessed that you got an amazing athlete that winds up doing something else with it, then that's all the icing, but that can't be the main reason you're out there.
I was 13 umpiring, and like 8 or 9 year olds, 10-year-olds, and there was this guy, big muscular guy. I guess I blew a call. He got so mad, gets in my face, and this is what he says in front of everybody: "Please, no, please, don't do this to me! Don't do this to me!
Yeah.
Don't do this to me!"
Right.
What a
It's like,
weirdo.
dude, everyone's watching you, and don't do this to me. Isn't it your kid's
Yeah.
team?
That's obviously somebody that's not in it for the right reasons. And
What's
not dialed
going
in.
on at home?
Yeah.
Was even all-stars?
Well, it's a lot of times people that were never good at sports themselves, this is their chance to vicariously win championships and trophies and feel like a stud.
And it's a weird thing to have a grown-ass man screaming at you as
Yeah.
a 13-year-old saying, "Don't do this to me!"
To me, yeah.
I mean, insane for
He
shit.
lost his mind.
Yeah.
And it can happen. I've seen many adults lose their mind in front of a shit ton of people. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Sarah, who I'd seen actually in that rainy game in Boca last week, she was the one that she now calls herself the Jersey Chirper because she was chirping at me. She's like, I noticed you never mentioned Garcia when you talk about football. Yeah,
Oh, the school Garcia.
yeah, the new Dr. Juan Garcia High School that is kind of like in the, I don't even know what area it is. It's kind of like a no man's land. They took some kids from Palm Beach Central and Wellington High School, and so it's kind of all in that area. So you wanted to invite you guys to our boys' home game. We got games on the blue turf both Wednesday and Friday. Tomorrow JV will play in a jamboree against John I. Leonard and Royal Palm. Yeah, I do appreciate the invitation. Maybe one of these days, but I think for me, my kids' football is kind of filling my schedule. So
Does Cannon play Gardens at all?
no, not on their schedule.
Does he play anything up in the northern part? I would really like to go see
Yeah.
a game. I usually don't know until the day of.
Yeah, they mainly, because they're Boca, so they take on Palm Beach Central and Atlantic, and I
Kind of shocked they don't do Gardens.
Yeah, I don't have them on the schedule at all. They got Park Vista this week, so it's kind of more central to South County teams that they pretty much have on their schedule. There's just so many. They got John I. Leonard coming up, so they've got all those.
That's the Lancers, Virginia. Fuck them Lancers. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I got a few things I got to get lanced off my back.
Oh,
I
shit.
feel like I got a little cancer growing back there.
Here we go. Me and
Speaking
Kevin.
of Lancer.
Me and Kevin
That was a
having
weird turn.
having a fun conversation. And
Well,
let's
you
take a left on Depression Boulevard.
Lancing, I need a little bit of that.
Okay, let's break it. Let's break down the show, Kevin, and tell Virginia A. She looks young, her eyes are big, and
gonna
she
tell her
does
she
not
doesn't have cancer?
She doesn't have cancer. You just have gross old moly things. We all get them when we're older.
Yeah, no, because then if she actually does have some form of like light cancer, you'd be going, "What are you trying to kill me?"
Oh yeah, and then you'll get a manifesto from somebody. See, J-Bar, this is why you don't make jokes about anything.
So hard to say anything these days.
Fuck, Kevin, it's hard to go to Publix and not get a little critique.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough out there. We kind of were going on that. Boy, you want to look at that thread we had going on about things you no longer get because it got too expensive. And
It's insane.
it kind of went down the rabbit hole of, Jaybird had started with the ketchup, then it was the soda he talked about. A lot of people were talking about chips. Man, a lot of people were kind of going off on Publix about really jacking prices and all that. So it kind of turned into a not so flattering thread for them. I haven't really,
So-
been looking at the prices. But
I love Publix. Always have.
Yeah.
They're my go-to. With that said, you got to be able to tell people you love when they're doing it wrong. And Publix's prices right now are ridiculous. They are through the roof, and it's at a point where I don't see how they can. I mean, they've got to be losing people, right?
Yeah, well, according to the thread, at least, some people were saying, yeah, we are now doing Aldi, or we're doing Costco, or we're doing other places.
Walmart.
Yeah, and then I'd even seen somebody, though, they texted in today, and they'd said the price of juice at Aldi had jumped from like $3 to $5 or something like that. So they're saying even
Damn.
that.
They got Aldi?
Yeah.
You know me, Kev.
So I think it's just everything everywhere. I maybe some stores are worse than others, but
I think that's what it is.
I think you're right. And even within the Publix community, I went to one where the pickles were slightly cheaper. Now, not much cheaper, but it was a different price. So, I don't know. It just seems like it didn't double. It seems like things have tripled, and that's alarming.
yeah. Daniel said Jaybird has a good, valid point. A bag of Doritos used to be $2 and change, and close to $3 and change before COVID. Now it's almost $6.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday, because that's the junk food aisle. You got the chips and the soda. Dude, they're you pay $12 for beer. You don't pay $12 for fucking soda.
That's insanity.
It's insanity.
It seemed like what a lot of people were talking about is you have to know to get certain items at certain places, which makes it a lot more annoying because then you're, spending more money on gas to drive around and shop at 5 different stores?
I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
I have to go to one-stop shopping, and that's why I'm switching my routine up.
Yeah.
Well, I like a store that either has a hot bar or a deli, a sub place. Whole Foods will even get me in there with their expensive ass because they've got.
You better take out a loan.
You do. That's where you pay for a $39 salad if you're not careful. Trust me. But it at least has that thing I love. That's why I go to Publix, because they have that deli. But man, fucking $12. $25 for pickles and soda should not be the way of the world.
No.
Jenna had said, yeah, talking about gas, my first tank of gas in my car in 2019 was $38. Now it's effing $65. That's 4 years. Wow. The federal government can kiss my ass. I think they're doing it to push us towards electric vehicles. It's bullshit. So, yeah, it's interesting times. People with their finances and how they feel. It's obviously something you're going to hear a lot about over the next year until next November. In fact, you probably hear something about it tonight. They got a Republican debate. It's going to be going on. That one's in California, and then they've got one coming up in Miami, too. So we'll get the fight right here in South Florida. Yippee-ki-yay.
All right. Just what we need.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm so not looking forward to that shit again. Just that.
The fighting.
Well, no matter what the outcome is, no matter what it is, unless, Martians come down, it's going to be just
it's going to be rough, man. Well, the tough thing about it, my one quick comment, I think if you hated the last round, you're going to have the same 2 dudes in it, and that's why I'm like, I can't do this again, man. I really can't. I don't have it in me.
It was the first time being in broadcasting that I legit felt something change, and people just became angry and pissy.
I really don't have it.
And then you had the George Floyd, then you had the COVID, like everybody just. It fucking turned to shit, Virginia.
It's so angry.
Yeah, I'm glad we really don't tackle the politics, but I mean, it's going to be, some of the stuff you will not be able to avoid just in life.
Well, if something happens that's big across the globe, and then we're like, oh, so Virginia, what's your favorite cheese sauce? It does sound a little out of touch.
Yeah.
So if something major happens,
well, I mean, for all of us, the thing it's just rough. We just want some relief. I mean, we care about buying our freaking Doritos and our ketchup and all that kind of crap, and just please, the people who run all this stuff, try to help us out, man. Just put us in a better situation.
I like to when we're spiritually connected a little bit more. And I'm not talking about,
Not so contentious.
Religious stuff. I'm just saying spiritual love for your fellow human.
Right.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
I know, yeah. So I hope it doesn't make things worse.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I think it's if you read social media is always going to present you with the world is on fire, everyone hates each other, men hate women, women hate men.
Well, that's still
all
true.
races are against each other. No, but it's not true though.
I do hate men.
I know, but you're being goofy about it. You're not. You really don't believe that.
No.
Well, hopefully social media will be better this time around, so it's not so contentious and nasty. I saw over in Europe, the EU has a new law that social media companies could be fined for failing to fight disinformation on their platforms. So they're going at it and they're like, okay, if you're going to rip us apart and you're going to, spread all these lies and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be paying massive fines if your platform houses the disinformation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, kick them in the nuts. Honestly, if they're going to be freaking ripping society apart, then I feel like they need to pay something, right?
Amen.
Amen to that. No doubt about it. Let me see. A couple other things here. My buddy John, he said, I heard your best of show on Monday, how to do a midlife crisis on a budget. And I'm afraid that I fall or fail a bunch of the qualifications for having a midlife crisis. I just turned 50 earlier this month, and during COVID, I picked up playing bass guitar. And 3 years later, I still play every single day.
Okay.
I even joined a band, and I play real gigs.
Good for you.
I can't tell you how much I stress everyone to learn an instrument.
That is so sexy, I think.
He said we were invited to play a fundraiser for St. Jude's. He said because I'm all into playing the style of classic rock my band plays, I started wearing 80s concert T-shirts like I did in junior high. I got Ozzy, Motley Crue, Poison, and of course Kiss. 2 summers ago, I got my ears pierced for the first time ever at the age of 48. I felt a little weird sitting in the chair in the front window of Claire's at the mall, but what are you going to do?
Dude, I fucking love this.
Good for you.
What on your deathbed, are you really going to give a shit if someone thought you've dressed silly?
Some people might call it a midlife crisis. I call it maybe a little caterpillar moment where you're having a new awakening and you're just going to be something that makes you happy.
Yeah, how come it can't be a midlife awakening, which can absolutely happen when you realize
Right.
you're
Not
on
a
this
crisis.
crazy rock and a lot of this shit you've been worried about does not matter.
Amen.
So get your fucking bass and learn some shit and get weird with it.
And have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life and make it full of smiles. And if the bass guitar makes you happy, make sure that you're doing more bass guitar.
A lot of times humans don't do the cool things they want to do and become the person they want to do because they're afraid of looking silly. We got a thing about, as a human, we don't ever want to look silly in front of people. Well, you got to look silly sometimes. Playing bass at 48 may look silly to your neighbors. Fuck your neighbors. Play the bass, baby.
Play it loud, too. I mean, really, fuck your neighbors.
He said, like everybody else, I let my hair grow during COVID. Earlier this year, though, I cut the length of the front to be more businesslike for work, but I did keep the party in the back. That's right, I'm rocking a mullet. So, yeah, I'm well into a midlife crisis. Hey, isn't that a song by Faith No More? Yeah,
A lot of times, too, people that throw that out at somebody, oh, Kevin's going through a midlife crisis. I bet the person saying that typically has not tried anything cool, new, or awesome, probably since they were a
Yeah,
teenager.
I like a midlife awakening instead.
If they're mocking you, they're just jealous. A lot of times, it's people that aren't brave enough to pick up the bass and put in the time and then go out and do the gigs. And they mock you because they really wish they had your strength.
And I also think people go, oh, well, I'm 48. What do I need to be playing the bass for? I'm not going to get a record deal. Well, it's not about getting a record deal. It's about, creating something. That's what we're meant to be. We're here to create, and you're creating music. That's a home run thing to do. I highly recommend everyone getting involved in an instrument.
Yeah.
That's you too, Kevin.
Okay.
I got a saxophone with your name on
Yeah,
it.
he's got a skin flute he wants you to play. You want to play that?
Oh man, all you got to do is just hum real long for about 3 minutes, and you're good.
3 minutes.
The best 3 minutes of your life.
It's a challenge. I got an email from Yasix. She said, hey, what is considered a one-hit wonder? Because I thought Magic's No Way No was a hit, too. They made the list today for Rude being a one-hit wonder.
To me, if you've hit on any major chart, and if they had Rude and they had another song that hit like the adult contemporary, they're not a one-hit wonder in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting debate because as I was looking through some of the lists of what were one-hit wonders, typically a lot of groups, they wind up, alternative groups especially, they wind up making the list, but they actually had several alternative hits. And you'd be like, well, in the world of alternative music, they actually could be a staple. Like they had Foster the People as a one-hit wonder because they had Pumped Up Kicks. Remember that hit the Billboard charts as a big song. But if you like alternative, they had a ton of bangers that were on the alternative charts and a big song there.
I always think of that one band, Tonic, because we love that one song. If you could only see the way she loves me,
maybe you'd understand.
They had another alternative hit, I thought, that was mild, but me and you both love that one as well, I thought. Wasn't it the...
Which one was it?
There was one other one they had. I got to check. I think it was in a movie.
If you could only see,
I think
and
it was
then you wanted more.
Maybe that's what it was.
You wanted more than I could give, more than I could handle.
Is that the same song?
A life that I had lived. No. If you could only see. They're two different songs.
That one was a... That one was a mild hit, and they had two. They were counted as a one-hit wonder. I'm like, they're not a one-hit wonder.
No, in fact, I think both of those songs charted. I'd have to look at that. Now, with Rude and your reference to No Way No, they did not have another song that charted in the U.S. Rude went to number 1. No Way No went to number 23 on the Canadian charts. So, yeah, typically, I mean, this is an American perspective. So, yeah, I would still call them a one-hit wonder because I look at all their other songs, and they only have one charting song in the Billboard charts in America. So, from my perspective, you ask what is a one-hit wonder? That'd be that. And typically, too, I would like to give them 10 years, in between. So, that would be the question is, what year did the song come out? And, they may be on it right now. That song came out in 2014. So that, to me, would be the better argument, saying, well, give them some time. They're a year away from being what I would categorize as a one-hit wonder.
I love when that happens to a band. They people write them off. They're fucking done.
Yeah.
And 9 years later, they come back and go, oh, no, we're not done yet.
Yeah,
I love that.
There's weird. I mean, you look at even the Beach Boys. Kokomo was very far removed from some of their earlier hits.
Gosh, how bad. From a scale of 1 to 10 on Kevin's hate list. What? I know you hate Kokomo.
It's a 9. It's a 9. It sounds a little tropical, so that gives it the one redeeming quality that I kind of like. That if we're on a tiki bar, I would.
It feels like a pina colada.
Yeah.
It does. And
I can't always hate that.
You can't, but I think the reason why, because I loved that song, and then I saw them on Full House, the Beach Boys as actors, and the way they wrote how the Beach Boys met them is just fucking garbage, Virginia. It made you hate the Beach Boys because of it.
And yeah, this had actually talking about one-hit wonders. It had come up this week. Somebody tried to call MC Hammer because One Hit Wonder Day, I think, was on Monday when we were off.
He is not. He's actually got 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah, and somebody was like, "Yeah, that one. Yeah, MC Hammer's a one-hit wonder."
No.
And he was like, "He's like, step off, bitch." He's like, "You can't touch this. Too legit to quit." Pray.
Adam's Groove, which was a hit.
Yeah, Adam's Groove was. Yeah, that was. Here
do
comes
what
the
they wanna
hammer.
do, say
Here
what
comes the
they wanna
hammer.
say.
That was a jam.
Too legit to quit. That makes me want to dance out of my fucking skin. Too legit.
Too legit to quit. Hi. That was a jam.
I feel like I could do anything when that song's playing.
You
Virginia.
can, Jay Bird.
That's right.
In fact, honestly, if you're a true Hammer fan, I would say you prefer that over You Can't Touch This.
But it's not even close. Too legit to quit.
That is a
that
great
fucking
song.
beat hits
Had the-
so hard.
Remember, Too Legit.
Yes.
You had the thing. Too legit.
They had all the celebrities doing Too Legit to
Hey,
Quit.
hey. I even had Pumps and a Bump, baby, 1994. That's when he, remember, everything was gangster rap then?
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
he kind of went all hard. He dressed in all black. And
I remember
'cause Remember
that.
Pray, that was all religious. And then he got all hard trying to still stay in the game. And
It's
that's
fu-
kind of when he fell off.
It's funny hearing behind the music stuff with some of these bands because other people have done that before where there'll be one type of band, but they kind of age into this new developing world of music. So they try to go from what they used to do and try to write a song in that new style.
The Christian hair band Stryper did that. They were all singing about to hell with the devil, and then, that kind of started to fall off.
That is so weird, by the way.
What, heavy
a
metal?
Christian band singing to hell with
that
the
was
devil.
the name of their big album that was big. And
Get me off this weird merry-go-round.
That's the kind of weird cringe shit I just fucking eat up. I'm like, what is this?
Oh, you would love that album. It's so cringy, man. It really is. Yeah, I liked it because my parents were like, oh, okay, it's Christian metal, so I got to listen to it. You know,
That is,
I couldn't even imagine going back and listening to it. I haven't listened to it forever. I think I put a Striper song on maybe about 5 years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so bad.
Even Switchfoot, they were kind of deemed as a religious band.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
And then they had the Dare You to Move.
Dare You to Move,
the big
you
one.
were meant for it to be
Yeah.
so much fun.
I love that song. I actually like that album. They were very nice guys. We met them in the mall right before Jingle Ball.
Okay.
And we were walking in and we go, holy shit, there's Switchfoot. They're playing
yeah.
tonight. And they were very, very humble and nice.
Did a show with them at Guanabanas.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Rum buckets, bro.
Yeah, is that what it is?
They were very nice though, the second time as well.
We got Ashley fighting the good fight against all the fake stuff, including the accounts that are out there. She said, I know myself and many other people are constantly getting spammed by that fake account I hear you talk about all the time. It's so disheartening that, people are doing that. She said if Virginia and her friends on her Facebook page report it as pretending to be someone else, it'll ask her friends to list the person on their friend list that the page is impersonating, but it has to be people who are actually friends with her on Facebook that can report it that way. So apparently there is a way to fight it. Maybe that would help with these dummy accounts that people come up with.
But it's people pretending to be KVJ, too, and these are absolutely people that are friends with us.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's it. You have to go to the pretending to be someone else section and have it reported there. So
I'm so confused.
Yeah. So I do appreciate that because, it's an extra thing you got to deal with. And, you're like, gosh, I don't have time for this. And it's so annoying. And so anyway, and she also sent an email to support@fb.com about the fake account.
Man, fuck you, Facebook. Look, I got other shit
that.
I got to do, you
Right.
dick face Zuckerberg. Sorry, Kev. I get these rants. I won't talk about the subline again either.
Yeah,
today.
and then she got the response says, we've taken a look and we found that the profile doesn't go against our community standards.
Yes, Facebook sent us some gaslighting bullshit. The problem is us, not them.
Yeah. The problem is Facebook. They won't take any of the complaints seriously. People are saying it's somebody else pretending to be not us. But Facebook, it doesn't matter how you report it. They don't care.
Well, it's just disheartening because I do feel like it fucks up. Well, I mean, we get spammed with this other person or other people as soon as you put up a video. Hey, what's going on? What's your name? Follow my profile. No matter what we do, there's some kind of fuckery with Facebook. We either get spammed or the post is taunting our KVJ Nation or with weird robots.
Look, you just can't believe anything you see on Facebook. That's what this is teaching me. Like, if it's anything written in the comments, don't respond to it. If you want to leave a comment, great, leave a comment. But don't respond to anybody responding to your comment on Facebook. It's not us. We're not doing that. It's somebody else. If they're asking you for anything, if they're telling you to click anywhere, if they're sending you to anything, that's not us.
Did get a nice email from Shane. We were talking about how Moonlighting, the TV show, is going to start streaming here soon. You can see Bruce Willis in his first real big acting gig, but it was on TV. And we were talking about all those other shows that maybe you might want to go back and binge. And I started thinking about when I was a little kid, what I would watch, anything from the Dukes of Hazzard, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Dukes of Hazzard's got some great vintage toys, by the way.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
The A-Team, I used to watch when I was a real little kid. And Shane said, let Kevin know there's a website you can go to and look up any movie or TV show, and it'll tell you what platforms you can find it streaming on. It's reelgood.com, REEL good.com. That might be cool to check out. I'll take a little time with that today, Shane. Appreciate that. See what it says.
The Golden Girls, my buddy was streaming them for a while. He said he would go to bed to that, and masturbate feverish. No, he said he was.
Whoa. Blanche, baby.
Rose.
No, he said it was very cozy to go to sleep to. He goes, I just put it on. It was so kind of just so simple and
Benign.
benign, yeah.
Comforting. Like the sweet hug of a grandma.
Until they had their own version of a very special episode. You remember what it was? Rose thought she had HIV.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Dang.
And there was another one too where I believe, I forget, somebody had sex with somebody and he died during sex. That was one of their heavy ones.
I think that was Blanche.
I think it was Rose.
Oh, was
I
it?
think they made it Rose to make it even that much more weirder. Because it should have been Blanche.
It should have been
It should have
Blanche.
been her, but I don't think it was. I could be wrong.
Blanche was my favorite.
If you had to binge watch Golden Girls, are you cozy or?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. You know, binging is. Could I sit and watch an episode? Possibly, but yeah, one after the other.
For the next 3 months, before you go to bed, you have to watch one episode. Are you is that a burden
It's
for
a
you?
chore, yeah. It's a chore.
It would suck.
Yeah.
I think it would change him.
It probably would.
It would absolutely
It
change
would
him.
absolutely change Kevin.
Yeah.
If that was your little jail you had
That'd
to
be
do,
rough. Yeah, it would. I'd have to change so many things in my life.
you weren't allowed to go to sleep until the episode was completed.
Yeah, that's tough. That'd be rough. And you know, even those shows that I talked about too, I don't even know if I would like them now. There's one with like WKRP. They have one skit that they put up there, and it's kind of a famous one on Thanksgiving. They'd done a radio promotion, and I like it now, especially because I think about how many promotions we've had that had just been whoa. They went haywire. That was where the radio station was going to throw turkeys out of a helicopter for Thanksgiving as a promotion. And the news guys like going, I swear for the life of me, I thought turkeys could fly. And they were crashing down through people's windshields and all that. And I've seen the replay of that. You can watch that like on YouTube. And that still holds up, that moment.
What's crazy is The Office, which is, we think of that as such a modern show. That show is old as fuck now. You would say 2006, I think you would say.
I saw a clip of it and I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, it's starting to look dated now.
I mean,
Wow.
The Office is, we're talking 20 years almost.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Dude, I remember watching that not that long ago, the first episode.
Rocco loves The Office. Loves it.
I get it. That was a very. I understand that not everyone loves The Office.
I
but
don't get it.
The thing about The Office, there's a specialness to it that only comes once. I would say every 20 years for the show. It really captured something with people.
Yeah.
That's special even to this day. That people love it.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get on it. My wife was not into it, and that kind of derailed me from getting into it. But I think when I get some time, it'll be one of those series I'll take on one of these days.
It's one of those ones where you really do have to spend time with the characters, and once
Yeah, I
you
could see
know
that.
the character, by season 3, you should really like The Office.
Okay. Jan had said, yeah, I used to love Ally McBeal, and I saw a clip of it the other day somewhere, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I used to love that show. That does happen, too. It's that way with movies, music. It comes back on, you're like going, oh, okay, wow, that was really terrible. What was I thinking, man?
There's some shit I watch. I go, what the fuck was I thinking? And I think maybe even back then I watched it because it was awful. I do like awful programming, not because I enjoy it. I don't know, something about cringy. Like I was telling you about the Bicycle Man from Different Strokes. It's such an awkward, weird acting. It would never be made today, ever. There's canned laughter in there. It's just unique.
Yeah, it is interesting to see how it all changes. A little bit of help for people trying to figure out how to watch NFL programming because things are changing. It's not like it's DirecTV anymore. I went to YouTube. Here are some options for you. Diana said, I use Sling TV. I have for almost 10 years now, and I watch local TV, cable, including Bravo, NFL Network, and ESPN. I have a plan that I pay per month. Looks like it's $55. It's the orange and blue channels. She gets like the ESPNs, the Bravo, NFL Network comes in there. I assume with the NFL Network, then you'd also hopefully get the NFL Red Zone. That gives you all the highlights of the games as they're going on. That's the one I watch. So she said, I may not be able to see every football game, but I have a comfortable amount of options to watch. Free DVR, too. So I link my payments to my Amazon account, but that's just my choice. So there you go. That's how she is doing it. Also, we got Joanne. She said, we have Hulu Plus live, and I'm a Bills fan living in South Carolina. I did the same thing. She did last year the first time the networks weren't showing my Bills game. I downloaded probably 5 services that Google said would allow me to watch the game, but they each had different games. What I found out is a lot of times if you aren't in the area of the team, unless you pay for the NFL ticket or whatever, that insanely packages with DirecTV, you are not guaranteed to get every game, and you likely won't. It's really rare that I can watch the Bills on any service because of where I live.
Well,
and
you
it's
can see them
likely
this
the same for
weekend.
her.
This weekend they're playing the Dolphins, so you will see the
She's
Bills.
in South Carolina.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
She's fucked.
What I was able to do, because I didn't want
Damn.
DirecTV or an insane expense for the NFL package, is top of it is I found a Facebook group for my team that actually streams every game. I pull it up come game time and just stream it to my TV for free. It sure... Yeah, wow, okay.
I
That's
found these
interesting.
chuckleheads, this guy and this girl, and they watch all the Saints games live,
Yeah.
and they stream it on their YouTube, and they can't show the screen of the game, but they talk about every detail. And so, yeah, when I couldn't find the Saints game, I listened to those two chuckleheads talk about everything.
Oh, that's so weird.
It was so low budget and so depressing. Like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy the YouTube package, but it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, not cheap. Not cheap. And Jeff said, documentary you might like on football. It is the Bishop Sycamore that played IMG. It's on ESPN. It's so wild and eye-opening. If you didn't know, you ever heard of IMG Academy? They're in Bradenton, Florida. They remember my buddy Steve Walsh used to be the
Yes.
quarterback. Yeah, he used to run the football program there.
Okay.
And so when he ran it, I asked him, like, so how do you get these? Because they have players from all over the country. He said we would go into the ratings recruiting book. It's Rivals does it. And he said we would send invitations to the top 75 players. Do you want to come to the school? They live in Bradenton. Their whole day, they do enough studying, but then the rest of the day is learning football or whatever their sport is. And they have multiple sports that are there.
So
But
they house them? It's
Yes.
like a boarding school?
it's a boarding school, and their football
Wow.
team is ridiculous. It's a national all-star team,
Damn.
is what it is.
Is he still there?
No, he's not. He's back coaching high school ball in his home state of Minnesota.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
him.
he's
I always
he's doing
liked him.
great.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's very
got a
nice.
very positive energy.
Yeah, really, really solid dude.
We did a few fun bits with him.
We did.
Yeah.
He threw a football off of Jason's head so hard.
It was what was it? I was in
It was a
porta
training
potty.
thing that they had done. I'd seen a training video where they were teaching quarterbacks. They would take a rope and they would open a porta potty door really fast, and they had to throw the ball into the porta potty to kind of emulate what it's like in a football game where you've got windows that open quickly and then close quickly. And so you have to get the ball to that spot in that amount of time before it closes. And so we put Jaybird in the porta potty and we had a rope. We'd open the door and Steve was zipping it right in there to see how he did. And yeah, one came in, I think clocked you right in the face.
Look, I was pretty optimistic last week when we did the ice bath thing with Tyler Cameron.
Yeah.
I think we can possibly start doing some stunts downstairs again. I feel like the energy
Okay.
has
Yes.
shifted, and I feel like the building owner or the
Axel, the building
owner
owner.
is on. He likes our show and
He
he's on our
loves us.
side. And he's a
Axel-
great guy.
Axel is going to be at the Stars Ball with us. Axel listens to the show. Axel is super cool. He supports Little Smiles heavily.
So I know for a while I was like, oh, the parking lot, blah blah blah. But there might be some stuff we can do again if we put our brains together.
Yeah, if we just pitch stuff to Axel and make sure that he's in the know and he gives permission, he calls the building manager that doesn't like us and he tells that guy, hey, it's cool that KVJ is doing this. And when we did the ice bath, Axel was down there, the building manager was down there, all of our team was down there, and we were all just like buddies watching the ice bath.
Everyone's smiling, having a good time. I think the day
Yes.
has.
The days of people being mad because they almost got hit with pumpkins from the balcony is over.
Well, I know we like to. We're a vaudeville type of show, and I know for the last couple of years we've kind of toned it down a little bit because of these rules, and we've been locked out of balconies.
A lot of things have made it challenging.
I think I think we can do it again.
I think we are working towards making everyone happy.
I think we go. You have a great connection with Axel. You go through him, and I think
Yep.
you're good to go.
Axel's awesome. He really is. We text text all the time. He listens to the show. He is such a supporter.
Well, it's just nice to set up a bit, then do a bit, and then break it down without thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm
gonna get yelled at."
I'm not supposed to be here.
No, Axel was cheering. He was helping us bring ice over for the bit. Like, he's not afraid of like getting his hands dirty and helping out. Like, he's a really cool dude.
So the show that he was talking about, IMG, the school in Bradenton, was playing Bishop Sycamore. A lot of states are trying to set up their own IMG, an all-star academy, because you can make so much money off of it, boarding athletes and whatnot. And so this guy was running a scam in Columbus, Ohio. And there was no school, there was no education. He was getting these kids, and somehow he tricked ESPN into televising a game they were going to play against IMG, because they thought Bishop Sycamore was the Ohio equivalent of this all-star academy. They went on national TV, and IMG beat the living shit out of them.
Wow.
It was the point like they didn't want to play the game because their players were so much bigger and more physical. I think it was 86-0.
Oh.
And they were like, we got to stop this game. They were like, this is a bloodbath. Like, people are going to die on this field because you guys can't hang with us.
Oh, my God.
And so that's what the whole thing is about. And then it unraveled, and they realized this guy had fake addresses and accounts, and they're like, how did he fool so many people? He was a scam artist, and he made people believe it was a shell game. They went to the place where the school was supposed to be, and it was like a post office box. And so that's what the whole documentary is about. It's fascinating that it's a story about somebody that pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes, and his grand scheme was fooling ESPN to televise their game nationally.
It's a pretty cool story.
It all unraveled on national TV. And even the announcers like, I don't feel comfortable about this. Like, they were even talking about, you need to stop this game.
Pussies.
Like, yeah. Oh, I mean, it was just ridiculous. So, yeah, I have not seen it yet, Jeff, but it's on my radar. As soon as I get rid of real football, I'll probably jump onto that.
You the head coach for somebody. Okay, let's say you're the head coach and your team is beating another team's ass. Now you've got your second string in there.
Yeah.
And I believe in doing that. Do you tell them to lay up at all?
No, I whatever players I put in there, I keep going down. I'm like, you play as hard as you can.
Yeah, I'm so not a fan of you lay up because you're beating someone so bad. I think losing teaches people something.
Yeah, and I may not. There are plays that you could call. You can run the clock down. Like, you don't snap the ball right away. You let the clock run down to 4 seconds, and then you snap it then. And there are things you can do that are still. But no, when you're out on the field, you put in your worst string players, you get them reps, and you try to shorten the game. But no, it's all out, baby.
I respect the team that goes for the jugular, Virginia.
Always. Well, it's not fair to those kids.
Well, if
those kids get on the field and they want to try real plays, they want to get reps and experience so they can one day be the starters. And it's not fair to them to call plays that are not favoring them.
I played on a lot of shitty teams growing up, and I would not, if I knew I was getting my ass beat and then I found out the team was laying up on top of that, I'm like, no.
It's insulting.
It is insulting.
It is insulting.
That's a soccer mom kind of a thing. Little Johnny's got to feel good today because little Johnny needs to feel good. Well, little Johnny sucks.
There are respectful ways that you can still.
There is respectful ways to still try hard.
And the other coach should recognize that.
Agreed.
Like, I understand they are trying to minimize the scoring, but, they're still playing. And my kids are still playing. Everybody should keep playing. So that's it. All right. Boy, look at that, huh?
Wow.
Crammed
Kevin,
a lot into it.
I felt like I was watching old Kev doing a sports show.
I know, right?
I liked it.
Just a taste.
Gleam in his eye.
Oh, he had such a sports bone piece.
I did, yeah. I'll take care of this sports boner I got now. All right, y'all. Thanks for the email. Send them in to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. You have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.